Hello, everyone. The transfer window is shut, but Liverpool have yet to announce either Alexander Isak and Marc Guehi's potential transfer. Yeah, it rolls on. The saga continues. Is there one final twist in the tale? Let's find out. We'll have a little discussion about things. We can interact, or you can interact with us using the comments section here on YouTube. But the latest on Marc Guehi, as per a whole variety of sources, including the one I'll pull up here, Jacob Steinberg, who is a football reporter for The Guardian, who says a deal sheet has been submitted for Marc Guehi's move to Liverpool. Hashtag deal sheet. There's that. Gary Jacob of the Times has said the deal sheet's been lodged with the Premier League for a proposed £35 million move to Liverpool, but then says slightly peculiarly, maybe back on. Okay? So that's where we're at with that. And it does lead to the obvious question, what is a deal sheet? Well, I thought I had a good understanding of it. I thought it was basically... It's like a piece of paper that signals intent to complete a transfer, that says, we've got this all underway. It's not going to get done in time, but there's nothing, there's no major complications. We just need a little bit more time. Yeah, the Sky Sports explanation is as follows. Clubs can only apply for a deal sheet in the immediate 2 hours leading up to the window closing, so between 5 and 7 this time. The application must indicate the club is committed to completing the transfer. It must contain signatures of all the interested parties to prove there is a will on all sides to do the deal. If the conditions are met, the clubs will then be granted a further 2 hours to complete the deal fully and get all the paperwork over to the Premier League. So, yeah, is this a case of it's all been pretty much straightforward and happening, and because it's the last great twist in the tale of the transfer window, have Sky Sports maybe, and maybe The Athletic as well, maybe just squeezing the last few drops out of this one? Or is there genuine jeopardy? Because the story, as we're being told, now I was live earlier on in the day when it broke that, a fee had been agreed. He was having his medical. Now, as far as we're aware, that medical is done. As far as we're aware, the fee is agreed and terms are agreed with Guehi, unless there's still some final element of the medical to be done. And that's what they're asking to be delayed, because I can't imagine. So Crystal Palace have completed the signing of a young centre-half. They spent £20-odd million on a 19-year-old centre-half. All the talk at the moment is that he wasn't deemed as the Guehi replacement. I'm not seeing, his name's JD Camvo. I'm not seeing any talk right now that says there's anyone who would be considered a direct replacement for Guehi. There would, I would guess, be talk of a deal sheet being announced that says they're in the process of trying to. I'm going to get my phone out in case anything happens while I'm here. There's nothing there to suggest that that's what they've done. There is, on the positive side for Liverpool, Sky Sports, as well as sort of twisting it a bit, they've also got. So let me gather my thoughts on this one. The way Sky Sports cover deadline day is you've got reporters in the field at the training ground actually sourcing proper information. So they'll have, a guy at Palace's ground who they keep showing. There'll be, I think, video Connors at Liverpool's training ground, and they might even have someone floating around London, around by where the medical's being done. Cool. And then what they've got is a bunch of pundits sat around, bored off their heads, being asked questions to keep the news cycle going and to keep stories and keep people entertained. So I wonder whether, I've seen a lot of Glasner could go to Bayer Leverkusen stuff. I had Sky Sports on earlier on today, and at one point during it, one of their, I don't know, was it Clinton Morrison? Someone basically said, oh, well, they want to watch out for that because that job's just come up because Erik ten Hag got sacked today, and he said that we shouldn't be selling Guehi. Maybe he'll just get off and go and do the Leverkusen job. And now that's being seen as like it was a real thing. It's so hard to untangle what is the fact and what is the fiction and all this. So yeah, it feels like the Guehi stuff is on an uneven keel. But genuinely, the reporters for Sky Sport who've been on screen have been saying, according to their club sources, they say the deal is on. It's happening. So unless anything mad changes, unless something mad happens and changes, then Guehi should be a Liverpool player in the coming minutes, at most hour and 40 minutes. But yeah, here's where we're at right now. There we go. Sorry, and Kulu says, Tim Sherwood said that. Well, Tim Sherwood, fuck me. Yeah, God. Hopefully Irish Fun's asking what's a deal sheet. I have just explained that, so maybe you're just new to the stream. But it does feel highly unlikely that this would get scrapped at this stage, because as referenced in the description of the thing, the application on the deal sheet must indicate the club is committed to completing the transfer. It must contain signatures of all the interested parties to prove there is a will on all sides to do the deal. So Palace have had to sign the deal sheet. Liverpool have had to sign the deal sheet. There has been an agreement to say that they're trying to get this deal done. Now, of course, that's not a cast iron guarantee. Otherwise, it would be signing complete, not a deal sheet. But yeah, I mean, we know there was some added delay to it. He didn't start doing his medical till later on in the day. It looks like there's been a bit of a game of brinkmanship being played. Palace obviously trying to get players in. They have got a young lad in who again, might not be what Palace fans are looking for, but ultimately the Palace owners have, I think, looked at it and gone, he's not signing a new deal. Liverpool want him. He wants Liverpool. It's £35 million or nothing, because that is the reality of it. And a club of Crystal Palace's size, and look, it's mad because Liverpool have just spent £125 million on Alexander Isak. So we're in danger of yarding 35 million quid. But in most enterprises in the world, the difference between having 35 million and not having 35 million is seismic. So, yeah, and obviously particularly considering Palace are not playing Europa League football, which would have been a huge boon to them. Instead, they're playing Conference League football. That would make a big difference. And if my guess, and based on information that we've kind of been reading throughout and hearing throughout the day, is that that's what it will boil down to. And Glasner will either have to, there will have been a conversation, you would guess, with Glasner that says, mate, you're manager of Crystal Palace. This is the reality of what it is to be at this football club. And I'm sure he'll be fuming. And, again, a lot of the coverage on Sky Sports has been about, he's going to be raging. Yeah, cool, but managers rage about stuff all the time. It doesn't necessarily mean he's going to throw his toys out the pram. He might, but it doesn't necessarily mean that. So, it is a funny old situation to be in, because I think we'd all really like to have that confirmation so we can just chill a bit on it, to be perfectly honest. Neve 5260 says, God, I feel sick, just get them announced. And Scott Hawks says, if we get Guehi, we're stocked at the back and our squad is unbelievable. Without him, it's not the end of the world, but relying on Joe Gomez as third choice, what a window. Not seen anything like it. Yeah, absolutely. And it's genuinely mad. And I must admit, I'm of the I'm going to say Sky Sports are going to go take a bar saying that Marc Guehi hangs in the balance with London Club trying to sign replacements. How's that been going the whole time? Because if they're trying to sign a replacement after the window's shut, what are they doing? Surely we'd have heard. Does anyone know who this player is they're trying to sign after the window? Anyone? Let me know in the comments. And yeah, as mentioned there by Shearing, they have signed JD Camvo, but we've known that's happening all day. That's been coming. That's not apparently the defender they're trying to get to replace. So yeah, there you go. It's all going to happen. But yeah, I agree. It would be nice to just have this all confirmed, because first and foremost, I want to see Isaac. But sorry, the Guehi stuff, I'm honestly not that arsed. If we'd sold Gomez, we'd be leaving ourselves in a hugely, precarious situation. And I don't feel overly comfortable with Gomez being third choice centre half because of his injury record. It depends how good Leone is. I mean, we've just seen Rio Ngamoa get a go, and he wouldn't have had a go if we'd signed Isak earlier, I would guess. Chiesa might not have scored the goal that he scored if we'd had Isak in it. So I think things happen and players get opportunities to rise. I think Liverpool can make do until January with a combination of Endo and Robertson and Leone, provided obviously Konate's not got a severe injury, of course. But ultimately what I'm saying is, I'm too buzzing with Alexander Isak to let this fucking buying defenders is fucking boring. What are we doing? Why are we making this the twist of the window? Centre halves are fucking rubbish. They're all boring. They want to ruin football for all of us. That's their job. That's their existence. I can learn to love them when they're Liverpool players, of course. And look, let's do that in the fullness of time. But yeah, if we don't sign them, we don't sign them. If we do, then I agree with Hawks there. It's as close to a perfect transfer window as you could possibly ask for, really. But yeah. LJ Smith saying, this is tainting my Isak joy because I wanted Guehi for ages. What? What are you doing? And look, I agree with Duba. Getting Virgin wasn't boring. It wasn't, because we spent 75 million quid on him or whatever. And we waited half a season to get him after all the stuff that we went through. And we talked him away from Chelsea and City and all that kind of stuff. Signing centre halves is very rarely that interesting, so do not let it get in the way. And hopefully, very, very shortly, Liverpool pull their goddamn fingers out and just announce Isak so we can see him in the kit and doing whatever the equivalent of the Melwood lean is these days. Standing by that big sign where it's the grey and white print on the wall and it's got Liverpool was made for me, I was made for Liverpool, all that kind of stuff. Great. Right, I'm just going to have a quick check through Twitter just to see if anything else is going on here. Because this is obviously a very, very live situation. Let's see. We've got my good friend Chris Williams, 7 minutes ago, tweeted, Glasner/Parish at loggerheads. Parish wants the fee for Guehi. He told Glasner to work his best and they'll reinvest it all in the summer window. Glasner livid at it, telling him it's not how a club operates after winning a trophy. Whew. I'd like to, ultimately, this should be none of our business. Just get the deal done. Now, we'll see. Surely not. Surely Liverpool just get this over the line. But either way, whatever. Fuck it. We've broken the British transfer record today. Again. And we've done it for Alexander Isak, a man that we were told categorically by Newcastle was not for sale. Luke Edwards is stood on top of a hill crying his eyes out right now. He's been on that hill, fighting his corner all summer long, and now he's just sat there on his own. It's getting dark and cold and wet, and he's sad. And I am happy because Alexander Isak is going to be a Red. So yeah, stay tuned to the YouTube channel. Stay tuned to Redmen Plus. Me and Chris are going to be live, probably, if not, definitely pre-recorded, over on redmenplus.com, wrapping up the day. If you can believe such a thing is possible. Me and Chris Pajak, the Redmen TV OG, back together. He's been on holiday for a month, and I've also been around and about. We're back together at last. We've been in each other's presence for the first time in about 5 weeks today, and we're going to do a show together. It's going to be over on Redmen Plus, wrapping up all of today's action for Liverpool. So head to redmenplus.com and sign up for that. You can get it in video form, you can get it in podcast form, and of course all the content that we normally do, the major content, the weekly podcasts and all that kind of stuff, is ad-free over on redmenplus.com as well. So yeah, keep going, everyone. Just lastly, a super chat from the Anfield Exchange. It says, if Palace were in for Gomez, why didn't we just give them Gomez on loan? It's a great question. It is a great question. Maybe Gomez just didn't want to play for Crystal Palace. I mean, he was about to sign for AC Milan. And like Crystal Palace are a sound football club. I've got lifelong family friends who are Crystal Palace fans. Got a bit of a soft spot for them as a football club. But AC Milan, I just don't see how you can go from Liverpool coming off the bench against Arsenal to put in a brilliant performance for Liverpool, the current champions and hopefully future champions of the Premier League, to nearly signing for the most historic club in Italian football, and then being like, oh fuck it, I'll just go on loan to Crystal Palace so Liverpool can sign another player. That would be my take on it anyway. But yeah, mad. Drop a like. Come and join me and Chris over on redmenplus.com this evening. We're gonna have a good laugh with it, and we'll have you covered from every single angle in the meantime across our socials. So see us all there. Ta-da.